Howdy folks, welcome back to 50 Nautical Mile Arc. Today we're doing leg 21 of our 50 state series. We're almost halfway through the United States. So we're in Maryland today. We are starting out at Hagerstown Regional Airport in Hagerstown, Maryland. We're going to fly about 90 nautical miles to Garrett County Airport in Accident, Maryland. When I chose this for the flight, I wanted to do kind of the western area where the state gets really narrow away from Washington, D.C. area, because that would be, the predictable thing. And the whole point of the series is to do flights in unusual areas. So I figure we'll fly over the narrowest most part of Maryland. In fact, there'll be one point where we are probably maybe over another state briefly, but we'll touch down in the same state where we take off. That's the only rule. So as long as we do that, we follow the rules of the series. And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about geography, just look up Hagerstown and Accident, Maryland. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I think it's the westernmost airport. Accident. No, not quite. Anyway, this is a pretty big airport. This regional airport. It's bigger than I thought it would be. In fact, there's a jet right there with his tail sticking into the side of the building. Otherwise, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. Weather's turned on, so we just have some clouds. In fact, I updated while I was preparing to record. It was clear skies a moment ago. And it's going to be an evening flight. Again, Northern Hemisphere, it's not supposed to be an evening flight. It's going to be 4 o'clock p.m. when we take off, which right now in the middle of summer, it should be getting dark about 9:30ish or 9. Minneapolis, it's 10, so Maryland, 9:30 or so. So it should not be an evening flight. But it will be, because the simulator has its seasons backwards or something. I still have to look into that. I just haven't made it worth the bother. So anyway, it's going to be a sunset flight, although I didn't mean it to be. So anyway, let's hop in closer here. Spin around a little bit. The Just Flight Piper PA-28R Turbo Aero 4. You know it's the 4, because see the T-tail? The 3, the tail is lower down here. The 4, it's up here. And the way you choose the livery, or the way you choose the airplane with this one, is either livery will get you the 3 or the 4, one aircraft file. Pretty awesome how it does that, and different handling too. This is much easier to fly. So anyway, I think that's it for introduction. Yes it is. We will be doing GPS approach, but we'll talk about that later. So here we go. We're gonna hop inside first off right away. If you below it, by the way, if you use your mouse wheel, you can hide this little arrow. To each their own, I know, but it kind of bugs me when people don't hide that arrow when they're recording. I see so many live streams and you got this bright yellow or bright white arrow, and I'm like, hide it, mouse wheel it, and they don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I just want to point that out because I haven't mentioned that in a while. So weight, you pull the weights, pull this down. We're gonna bring some friends. Whoa, gotta click on the right spot. There we go. We're gonna bring some friends with us. I'm a very fit 200 pounds. I'm like 6'4". I keep growing. And our friend. There we go. Our friend. And some other friends. In the back. There we go. Something like that. And not that much water. Let's do that much water. We'll do a half full of fuel. And that is your weight and balance segment for the evening. Let's hide this right now. Parking brake. Let me redo my preset because I scroll wheeled. I think I have a thing here. There we go. Parking brake set. Ignore the mouse in the way. Controls to idle, so we're going to reset them gently, or else it screws up my yoke. Battery, we're not worried about that. We're going to skip that today. Skip that today. Trim, we're going to skip that today because trim, we're going to check again. I guess I'll start wheeling it up while I'm talking here. We don't need to do the sparkle falling battery because we just started the sim. Auto switch for the tank should be on again. That's to balance out during flight. Don't have to worry about it. All right, let's hop outside and close these baggage doors. Hey, he has the right side of the plane this time. Close the baggage door. I just been closing the passenger door with that too because it's much easier and it should latch, and it does. And you come up here and latch it again yourself. Engine latch before engage latch before flight with a little laminated sticky. All right, remove chocks. I think it did that on its own. Yes, it did. Alright, what else? Close the main door and latch. I just did that too. Fuel tank to the left. Fuel. And there we go. Props forward. Throttle a quarter. Alt air close it is. I can see from here. Confirm avionics are off. Yes, they are. Battery on. And I should know better every time we talk about how I cannot get to the battery from there. There's a battery. Turn on our anti-collision lights. Turn the fuel pump to low. Mixture rich, which is full forward. Confirm fuel. Yell clear prop out the window. And close it. Clear prop. Close that thing because it gets loud. And start. Key. Where are you? There you are. I think this one just spin and let go. Yes, and it's going to go all by itself. Just like that. Understood. Yes, gyro drift. That's what that is. Confirm oil and temp are rising. And they are... Where are we here? Alt switch. Come back over here. And turn Alt on. Confirm the lights went out on top, and they did. Throttles 14 of 15, and they're right at 14. Good one. Gyro suction between 4 and 5, and they are. Now they went below 14 because I pulled them back a little bit. There we go. Lean mixture, pull back so we don't have spark plug fouling. Turn on all our gadgets. There's that one. That one's already on for some reason. That one's already on. This one's off though, and that's off though. ADF. Boom. There we go. All right, simple enough. Test the fuel tanks. This is where sometimes it's been stalling on us. See? Interesting. And why isn't the animation? See? And that's what I was talking about during that beaver video when I couldn't get it started. I think this is what it was. And now it's working. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, we're working now though. There we go. Sync gyros already did that. Altimeter barometer. We are using real world weather. So we do need to turn on, oh goodness, busy area. Turn on weather. We have to check our barometer. I can't say that right. All right, here we go. First of all, barometer, altimeter, 3017. So let's zoom in our old eyes. 3017, 301, 2, 4, 6, 7, 3017, like that. And what is this? Wind 350. At 6, so 350. So what do we have closest to 35? Well, it goes up to 36. So 27 to 35 is 8. 35 to 9 is 15 or so, because we don't know the exact magnetic. So about 15-ish, about 8. So we'll do runway 27. So runway 27, because 27 is closer to facing 35. So runway 27 will be this one, right? Boom, that would be runway 27. Winds out of 350, so winds are going to come like this. Actually, the winds are going to be more like this. Wouldn't this runway be better? What would that be? That'd be 9. No, 92. Ah, 2. There we go. 2 would be better. Because 35 to 65 plus 7. 25, that's 8. Yeah, so by 1 degree, runway 2. So we'll taxi all the way down. What does this airport look like? So we'll just turn right, taxi all the way down, take off runway 2. There we go. Simple enough. That's how that works. All right, what are we doing here after that? Flight plan. Well, we have our takeoff plan. Now we're going to do our actual flight plan. Flight plan. Do I have a flight plan other than our approach? No. So let's just clear out what's in here, which is not... That's not where we are, obviously. That's where we were in the previous flight. So let's get rid of that. That's where we are. Is it this one? No. You think I'd remember by now. It's the outer one. We're going to put in our destination. I'm going to try to do this through the simulator. Why not? 2 Golf 4. So there's our 2 and our Golf and our 4. Whoopsies. There we go. Let's do that. Now let's come back and let's do our procedure. Let's select an approach. And we don't know which approach yet because we don't know the weather there. It's close enough. Let's say it's going to be the same. So again, it doesn't really matter. We're screwed either way, aren't we? 27 is 1 or 2 degrees closer. So let's do 27 GPS approach, which I have printed out. And we're not going to do vectors. We don't have ATC. We're going to do Hagerstown. Let me look at my... Sorry, microphone. Hagerstown. Hey, it's actually on here. Wow. Nice. Hagerstown. Okay. This might work. 4 out of 4. It might work. So let's enter. And let's just activate it right now. It's such a short flight. I don't want to do a hold. I want to go to Hagerstown. What's Jackson? Darn it, this isn't going to work. Jackson. Way too close to the airport. We need Hagerstown. So what do we do when it says hold? See, this is the thing that I haven't been able to figure out. Can we insert a waypoint here by going like this and put in Hagerstown ourselves? Let's try this. Let's see what happens. There it is. Okay. So can I go direct to here? And then as we get closer, go direct to Jackson? And skip that whole thing? Let's try it that way. Let's try it that way. What do we have to lose? If worst comes to worst, we just kill the GPS and we do manually. Right? We'll be slow enough and low enough we can do something like that. So that's our flight plan. Give or take. And if the wind changes too, that screws us up anyway. Alright, so anyway, we'll calculate top of descent when we're in the air. Because I do have a chart printed, so I actually know how high we need to be this time. So there we go, that's flight plan. No VORs or anything, no taxi lights, so we're ready to taxi. Because we have no taxi lights. So, what did I say we're going to do? Turn right. Ooh, the weather updated, frame rates dove. We're just going to turn right, I guess, and then that should be runway 27. So let's see here, let's get taxi position. Parking brake off. A little bit of fuel here to get rolling. First set of flaps down because we can. And we will just go down this taxiway if I can find it. Oh, I have no rudder control. There we go. It seems like I have to let go of my rudders and engage them again. Still working on getting rudder pedals. It'll make my life so much easier. Because right now my rudder paddles are on my yoke. And not only am I doing, when landing, I'm doing my yoke to land. I have my other hand on my throttle. And then I have to also use the paddle access with my other hand. It makes it complicated, and I'm blaming that on all my crappy landings. Plus, I have one of the least expensive yokes you can buy, and it like tings and twangs and clicks and sticks, and that might be part of it too. I was watching a streamer the other day who generally does not the greatest landings, and they got an exceptionally expensive yoke. And all of a sudden, right out of the gate, all their landings are like perfect. Because they don't have the tings and twangs and snags in their yoke. So anyway, let's go across here and hope. Whoa, oh, this is funny view. Yeah, let's hope this says runway 2. I think that says runway 2. Yes, it does. So that means we know we are going the right way. Don't crash on me. Okay, I made it. I'm having problems with the simulator crashing, which is very strange. My simulator hasn't crashed in ages. And it's been crashing. Now, the weather's always caused it to stall, and I've talked about that and how it makes editing a disaster because it makes the editor stall and everything too. But that's when weather updates. That's the stalling. But I've actually had a crash. So anyway, enough rambling. I'm just going to keep taxiing and use full right rudder, even though we won't go right. And I'll catch you at the end of runway 2. Alright, we're going to come around the corner here and get ready to taxi onto the runway. We've been cleared right onto the runway. No other traffic this evening, apparently. And it says runway 2, just like we wanted it to. So we learned, or we know how to read a map, which is good. Let's bring back throttles here. Slow down a bit. We'll just stop back here, that's fine. And hit the parking brake. Give it a little bit of throttle, or else we will stall. So let's keep that going a little bit. Alright, let's see, we're not going to do a run up today. What is next? Before takeoff, alt and battery switches to on, and they are. Fuel pump on, it is. Alter to close, mixture forward, props forward, flaps 10 degrees, yes. Makes on both, yes. Landing lights can come on. Trim in the middle, and we already checked that, but we'll check again. There we go. Confirm the door is latched in both places, and it is. Pitot heat can come on. Put in that yoke too, by the way. I should actually put that on my checklist to turn on the yoke. Heading bug, in case we screw up. We should be able to push in this one. There we can. Autopilot, we'll worry about if we need to. I have a new preset for that. I don't remember what my preset is, but I have a preset for that. I can't remember. All right, let's see what else. Start the clock. Where's our clock? Our clock is down here. Mode, start. There we go. Get ready to take off. Just check one more thing, which is where's my autopilot preset? I know I have it somewhere. Oh, I know why. That was the other aircraft. I have to fix this one quick. Alright, preset for autopilot set. Let's hop up here, and I think that means we're ready to go. We already started the clock a while ago. Yes, we did. Anyway, here we go. Parking brake off. And throttles forward. And away we go. Turbo is on and you can hear it. Lots of rudder because the wind is taking us a little bit here. And we're just going to go to the right apparently. Here we go. Let's rotate and get off of this ground because I can't control this for some reason. What in the world was that? Gear up because there is gear in this. And flaps in because we're 300 feet above ground level. And if we look at our GPS, we want to go to the left. And we will in a moment. We're just going to enjoy the scenery here. That looks amazing. That looks real. That's great. Alright, let's bring... Oh, we'll keep turbo going for a minute. You hear that turbo hissing. Quick look around. There we go. Not too bad frame rates with this heavy weather. That's nice. Wow, got a little dizzy there. Alright, here we go. Let's bring the props back, or throttles back a little bit. Get that turbo light off. There we go. Alright. We are still hand flying. We will hand fly for a while, I think. We'll do a after takeoff checklist in a minute. Let's coordinate our turn and turn towards our GPS. Looking nice. There's the airport. Boom. Here we go. A little bit towards our GPS. Alright, just like that. And what's next? After takeoff. Gear up, yes. Flaps in, yes. Climb at 90 knots, which we almost are. Good. Fuel pump off and landing lights off. We'll keep cruising for a little bit before we turn off the fuel pump. How are we on the GPS here? Not too bad. We'll just keep going towards it. What's our cruise going to be? I don't know. I was thinking 5,000, 6,000 maybe. Whatever I feel like. We're almost at 3,000 already. Actually, our approach. What's the elevation of our... Wow, the airport is 3,000 where we're going. So, we are just now at airport elevation for our destination. I was going to say, because our approach is 6,000. Okay, so let's at least do 6,000 then. So that we can approach the next airport. Alright, we're about lined up with our GPS, I think. Zoom in there. Good. Alright, let's line up with our GPS. Now, we're still hand flying, by the way, if it isn't obvious already. And we're at 3,500 feet. I guess we can go up to like 5,000. Might as well. Let's level off because we're with our GPS. And let's try to climb around 90 like we're supposed to. So why the turbo over the regular? Because I can. In real life, you would use the turbo if you fly with full payload, longer distances. You're always in a hurry, or in the mountains where you need the quick climb or thin air, high altitude takeoff and landing. Otherwise, no need for the turbo. It's just more work, and I'm just stating all that from reading a lot about it when I have time to read things, which isn't often. Alright, what are we at? We are at 4,500, so we're going to keep climbing a little bit, but let's get some sightseeing out of the way, because we're going to hit the clouds. We're going to lose our scenery here any minute. Although you must admit... Oh, I was going to take a nice screenshot of the clouds, and all of a sudden they went away. So you must admit it's kind of neat to see those clouds like that. Also, if you see the sim pause like that, it's because I'm taking screenshots, in case you weren't aware of that. Otherwise, this is a beautiful part of the country and state. If you're wondering where we are, we're right in that tiny, narrow area of Maryland, like I said in the beginning. So we're probably, realistically, we're looking at Maryland now, but if you look to the right and left, we're not looking at Maryland anymore. We're looking at the surrounding states. You know, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, the hills. I apologize, I don't know the names of those hills at the moment. I often do pay attention to that stuff before I start recording, but I didn't this time. These wing views are kind of annoying. I might have to change those to be the front seat views, because the front seat views look much better than those wing views. Do I have a co-pilot view? No, I don't. Anyway, I am just rambling about nothing. I'm trying to decide what to do. So we're about to hit some IMC, but that's okay because we're IFR. Oh, that's a nice shot. Nice high frame rate through the clouds. Oh, that's great. Let's enjoy that for a moment. Okay, long enough moment. We have to get on task. So let's get... I guess we should get some autopilot going. Oh, we blew through our 6,000 feet. I was too busy rambling around. So let's do this. Let's set autopilot or GPS to CDI. And let's hop down to autopilot panel and hit all and turn that on and hit the pipe right now to hold us off at 6,500. And switch this to nav, turn that to on, and we should then go to our GPS. Right? Yes. It's going to turn us to the GPS, at least it should. And we're going to hold 6,500 feet. There we go. And let's take turbo off. Otherwise, what else do we need to do? Nothing. Let me double check that autopilot. Autopilot is on. I figured out last time that by turning heading on, that turns this dial on. And the dial is nav, and GPS is set on. Let's get rid of that. GPS is set for CDI. So therefore, we're good. It should work. Looks like it's following it, and it's holding 6,000 feet because they hit their 6,500 because they hit the Piper logo, which is the secret altitude hold. And we got some nice views. Again, wasted wing views. Let's go like this. There we go. There's some nice views. So let's set our top of descent, and then we'll do our sightseeing. First of all, the cruise checklist. Throttles to 23, props to 22. So we gotta, oh, I can see this. No, we can't. We have to hide the yoke. Wait, if I come down here, can I see from here? I can. We can use this one. See, I don't like hiding the yoke all the time. So here we go. Props to 23. No, the turbo, sorry, turbo's 28, I was going to say. Turbo's 28. And I said props. Manifold to 28, props to 23. Which is right there. Almost. Come on, back, back. There's props to 23. Well, props to 23. Manifold to 28. We are good to go. What is next? That's it for cruise. Nothing till descent. All right, let's do our top of descent. So if I pull this out and we push that. All right, we want to be at 5,600 at Hagerstown, and it says that already because I hit the wrong button and it zoomed in on me, screwed me up. There we go, 800 feet per minute. Again, I just chose that because that's what the 1900D is. 56 at Hagerstown, 800 feet per minute. 22 minutes we'll start coming down. And then when we get to Hagerstown, whoops, not that one. When we get to Hagerstown, we will move this to Jackson and go direct to Jackson. And just forget all this hold stuff. Well, that should be in line. What, it doesn't matter. Well, that's what we'll do. So we'll keep an eye on that. 22 minutes, which doesn't make any sense because it's not much more than... Oh yes, I know why that's such close. Because if you remember, 5,600, we're only at 6,500. So we have to come down not even 1,000 feet. So that's it. 9.5 minutes into flight. Just below the cloud base. Frame rates are nice and high, at least until weather updates. We got some nice weather above us. Our clear skies above us. Some scenery below. I'm going to give you some sightseeing and mess with my presets because I don't like them. And I'll catch you probably top of descent. I don't have any stories about Maryland, and I don't know anything about Maryland. So I'll just catch you at top of descent. So we're not quite at top of descent. We have 15 minutes to go, but I do want to check the weather report for our destination, just because we may need to switch runways, right? We're set for runway 27, but we might want something else. So let's see where we are. Following the flight path nicely. Looks like 2 Golf 4 is here. Garrett County, details, wind, light and variable. Good, so we don't need to change our runway. Altimeter might as well change now because we're halfway there. 3025. 3025. And we may check that again later. We'll see. 302. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 right there. 2, 4, give or take. Yeah, there we go. Good enough. Alright, so, whoops, not that one. I wanted to do that one. Otherwise, that's it. Just a quick little interruption, and I'll catch you again in a moment. Alright, so it's not quite top of descent, but we're getting closer. We do have to do a few things, so we're going to keep that upright for now. As I wanted to talk about a few more things. One, our fuel tank is switching every couple minutes on its own. It's between 15 and 20 minutes depending who you talk to, but it's been switching on our own. That's what this auto switch is for, so we don't have to worry about ourselves. Otherwise, you use fuel from one wing, the tanks from the wings, and you get kind of tippy and lopsided. So that's one thing I want to point out. So there's something else I want to point out and I forgot. So let's just hop outside and talk about this beautiful scenery. All these rolling hills. And the weather is updating. You'll see clouds pop in as weather updates here. Which means we should probably check our weather again in a moment. But otherwise, these rolling hills, at the time of this recording, I haven't looked it up yet. I'm not sure if these are still considered the Appalachians up here. Maybe they still are. I would think maybe we're a little far north for that, but maybe these are the Appalachians still, or the foothills or something. But all in all, I got some rolling hills. I'm also noticing all the rivers that cut through. Pretty much every deep valley has a river going through it, which of course you would expect if you know anything about geology. But it just seems super obvious here. Of course, now they bring it up, those main rivers are past, but he caught a little bit during sightseeing, I hope, if you're noticing and paying attention. Otherwise, I just want to point that out because the scenery definitely has changed since we took off. I'm still trying to figure out where the airport is going to be among all this stuff. That's going to be interesting. Looks like you got another river and valley area coming off the left wing there. Oh, I got an airport there too. I think that airport's in a different state because I think I was going to land at that one. I think that's a different state there, and there's a different state to our right. We're just barely over Maryland right now. Well, let's hop inside and figure out where we actually are. So 7 minutes to go, but you see this hold thing. So what we're going to do is as we get closer to this waypoint, we will actually switch this and go direct to Jackson like I planned. VNAV won't be affected by that at all, though, of course. I really could do it now. I'm not going to, though. But we want to skip this whole thing because we don't have vectors from ATC or anything. So you just want to skip that. Otherwise, keep an eye on our VNAV. We're going to start coming down very soon. And fuel is okay. Let's check the weather again just to make sure nothing changed because you never know. Yeah, see, there's some other airports here. We are going over here though. And let's see what the weather says. Still light and variable, still 30-25. So nothing to change there. That is good. Otherwise, I think that's it. Do we have time for one more look out the window? I think we have time for one more quick look out the window, and then we're going to start talking about our descent and our approach. I don't know what city that was down there, but that was pretty spectacular. I'm glad I was able to catch that in our sightseeing. Anyways, it is time to pay attention to what we're doing. About ready to come down. We might be close enough now. I think we're just going to do our flight plan and go direct to Jackson, just to get out of there. That might change us a little bit. Not much. There we go. But, like I said, that doesn't affect our top of descent. So 7 minutes will still come down. Otherwise, we're going direct to Jackson, and just beyond that's airport right there. So we are good to go there. And let's see here. Through the magic of editing, I will catch you in just a second for top of descent. Alright, I'm looking here, and when I did direct and skip the approach, it screwed up our VNAV. It changed it on its own. So we have to have a big, serious change here, because we need to be at 4,500 feet at Jackson. And the airplane is doing something on its own. What is it doing on its own? I don't like that. What happened here? Anyway. So we want to be at 4,500 feet at Jackson. I don't know why that changed itself. When I hit direct, it like eliminated that as an option. Because if I go over to it, I can't go back. So anyway, now we got 3 minutes till we touch down, or go down. Because we want to be lower at Jackson. So let's get off of this. And why did that change us? Weird. What did that do? Now it's changing us back. I didn't touch anything. All I did was change our height. Weird. I also have to look at what this LPV means, because these are giving you instructions over here. And I have to apologize. I don't know what that means. By the time you watch this video, though, because I'm recording a little bit ahead of when it's posted, I will have looked that up. There's LPV plus VNAV. There's all these things that come up. I'm going to look that up. Why, though, when all I did was switch this to 45... and I couldn't choose that, why did that make us spin around? Very weird. I don't know. Maybe that's something to do with it. No idea. Otherwise, we better pay attention now. We got 2 minutes to come down. So, or 2 minutes before we start to come down. So let's manage some things here. Let's look. We already have the weather. Whoops, wrong piece of paper. We already have the weather. We already have the barometer, altimeter, props forward now. Actually, not quite yet. Landing lights will come on though. Fuel pump 1,000 feet above ground. We're not much more than that. So let's turn on the fuel pump right now. And as soon as that gets to descend to target, which will probably be as I'm talking here, we will put props forward and bring back the throttles. This is to 15. Fuel pump on, yes. First flaps at 100 knots. Gear down 100 knots. 85 knots per second flaps. Full flaps at 75. Touchdown with throttles at idle, which I hope I remember to do this time. I keep forgetting to do silly stuff like that for reasons I'm not going to bother getting into. But I do have my reasons. Otherwise, I'm just waiting for it to go to descend to target any second now. Any minute now. And then we'll start to descend. And there it goes. So let's turn off VNAV. We'll keep an eye on this VSR though. But it's going to climb up very quickly. Yeah, why did it do that? That's so weird. I don't understand. But anyway, there's the airport 4 miles away. So let's start coming down. What do we need to do? We got to kill autopilot. Let's just turn off autopilot. Who cares? Normally what I do is I just turn off the alt holds, but I'm just going to turn off the whole thing. Ooh, and there the wind takes over. Props forward, throttles back to 15 on the manifold, and that's lower than 15. There's, whatever, something like that. Come back a little bit. There we go. Coming back down to 15. We're going to pull up because they're trimmed, but we want to slow down. So we're going to pull up for speed, bring throttles back to descend. We want to descend by 800 feet per minute because that's what I have on the VNav. We can watch their profile. Is that like 590? I can't really see that far. But that means we have to come down to 590 feet per minute. So let's come down a little bit. There we go. I see the beacon right in front of us off the nose. It's on top of a mountain or something. That would explain the high altitude, a high elevation. Good thing we're in the turbo then. Not that 5,000 feet is that high, but you get the idea. So we're just going to look right at that airport, or we can follow our GPS, whatever we want to do. But anyway, by this next waypoint, 2 minutes from now, we want to be at what? We want to be at 4,500 feet and then down to the runway. What are we at now? We're at 5,700, so we got to come down 1,200 feet. And if we want to look here, it tells us to do that we need to be 587 feet per minute. That would bring us down at the right time. So let's just keep an eye on our VSI. We're about 500 now, so let's come down a little bit more. We'll use throttles to descend. We got to start slowing down too, because we're going to have to get props and geared up soon. We're only a couple miles away. 3.6 till the waypoint, and that waypoint is 4, so we're 7 miles away. A little bit of crosswind from the right, as should be expected. In fact, it looks like a lot of crosswinds. Quite a bit. So yet again, if we want to try to do a crosswind landing, we'll do right wing down, left to rudder, which is my left thumb, while I'm trying to get my right wing down with my left hand, because I'll be doing throttles with my right. See why I need rudder pedals? Anyway, right wing down, left rudder, right main touches first, relatively firm touchdown, not a hard touchdown. We don't want to set off the ELT, but we want a firm touchdown. You don't want to increase crosswind landing, very dangerous. It can blow you across. And let's say your other main grabs something. Could probably roll. I don't know if you'd roll, but you'd do some damage, and it would hurt. So you do not want to grease crosswind landing, so we're not going for a greaser today. I'll try to do the rudder thing if I can. Do the best we can. We got to come down a little bit steeper, I think. Let's look at our VNav. It's telling us 544 and less because I'm pointing down because I was looking out or looking away from where I'm supposed to be. All right, gear down can come down now. We're getting blown around a little bit. That's going to cause some drag, which is great. We'll first set of flaps in a moment here. And a little bit of throttle to keep us from descending too steeply. And I'm not pitching up. That's the throttle making the nose come up. And let's do first set of flaps. Second set of flaps will be 85. Third set of flaps will be 75 with touchdown, 75 at idle. That is how we're going to land. See how smoothly this goes when I don't sightsee? So let's sightsee. Super fast, zip around, zippy, have a look. Very nice. You can see the crosswind a little bit there. Good. Windows views. Very nice. Beautiful. Okay. How y'all doing back there? Good. All right. Enough looking around. See, now we're off course. See how quickly that happens? All right. So I'm curious what our VSR says. Oh, it doesn't tell us because we passed the waypoint. Never mind. Now it's all up to us. All right. So what do we want to be at? The runway is, well, the runway's not 6,000. The runway's 3,000. Sorry, I said that wrong earlier. 3,000 feet. We're at 4,000, so we're 1,000 feet above. Looks like we might be a little bit low on the PAPI, which would make sense. So we're going to use throttles. Well, I took my hand off to itch myself. That doesn't work. We'll use throttles to stop descending, not pitch. We want to keep the same speed. So I'm going to trim back a little bit, though, because I'm really fighting this yoke way more than I need to. There we go. Trim it out a little bit. Excellent. We'll do second set of flaps in just a moment. I feel like we're not getting anywhere because of the long runway and the hills. But if you look to the side, we're cooking pretty good. We're moving right along. All right. A little more throttle, level off a little bit. I think I'm looking at PAPI, but that'd be on the wrong side, so that can't be PAPI. What am I looking at? I don't know. Something red. Since I don't know the area, I don't quite understand. I just know that we're past our waypoint, and that waypoint was 45, so we're at 36. Runway's 29, and we're getting blown to the left as I would expect to be. All right, enough looking around. Second set of flaps, that's 85 knots. If we slow down a little bit, but not too much, to give us more time to figure out what we're doing. We can buy us some time. Are those Pappy on the right side? I thought Pappy was always on the left. No, that's Pappy, 2 and 2. Pappy's on the right. Really? I'm looking at the runway, right? I'm not looking at a taxiway. No, that looks like a runway all lit up. Anyway, alright, 2 and 2, so we want to descend about 500 feet per minute or so. If you don't know, that's like my go-to number. Now we're too high. So we'll bring back throttles to descend. We're not going to pitch down because we'll speed up. And just off the right to the dash, check out that awesome barn coming in on the hill. How cool is that? Alright, so crosswind picked up a lot. Big crosswind all of a sudden. Alright, let's start descending a little more than 500 feet per minute because we're 4 on the Pappy. And we don't want to decrease our speed though. So we're going to use throttles to bring us down more steeply. There's 1 red. Let's go for 2 red, 2 white. We're just above touchdown speed. We don't want to slow down, so we're going to pitch down a little bit to get speed. A little more throttle so we don't descend too quickly. I'd rather be a little high here. See this gigantic cliff? Do not look at the cliff. Look at the Pappy, look at the runway, ignore the cliff or you'll come in too low and you hit the side of the cliff. That's how that works. So you never look at the cliff. Look at your target, the target being the numbers. I'm going to clip this tree because that's just how simulators work. Big crosswind starting to pick up now. I'm starting, uh-oh, don't stall sim. Great time for the sim to stall. Oh my gosh, don't stall now. Well, there's updating, we're a little bit below touchdown. Okay, even for the numbers, so far so good, but it's a touchdown that matters. Here we go. I'm way too high because of those trees. We're going to come back to throttle idle now because we're coming in hot. We're going to just hold it off, right wing down, and left rudder. And that was terrible. But it was firm. I said we needed a firm landing, right? We got it. And we did do the right wing, right main, left rudder thing. That part was fine. Left to center was not fine. And that was a firm touchdown. Wow. Flaps coming in. We'll just roll this out. No need for brakes. Oh, the wind has picked up. All right, let's see here. I see blue. So blue would be our taxiway. Let's slow down a little bit here. Ooh, what's going on? Here we go. All right, again, it's really hard to see. Like I know I say this every time, but not everybody watches every video. When you do a different plane on a different runway type, meaning width, every single flight is really hard to get used to without peripheral vision. So, you know, if that were a wider runway, I would have floated, but it was narrower, so I thought I had a lot more way to go because I thought we were higher and we weren't, so we came crashing down. But had that been a wider runway, we would have been fine. It just, you know, without the peripheral vision thing and different airplane and different runway, every time it is really difficult to get that perfect. But anyway, we didn't set off the ELT, so as long as you don't set off the ELT, you're in pretty good shape. All right, so here we go. I don't know where we're going. In fact, yes I do. We're just going to go to these hangars right here. Right to the right. And actually, we should have turned off some landing lights and things so we don't blind people, but we just want to get off the runway quickly. So we'll stop the clock and everything after we park. All right, and the weather happened to update. That was another factor too. The weather updated as I was approaching, which caused my sim to stall, which I don't think you see that when it's edited. I think it looks pretty much smooth to you, but when it stalls, the sim is still running. So if it stalls and I'm going to 75 knots, the plane is still moving 75 knots. And then when the sim unstalls, you catch up. So that adds a little bit of challenge. So we're just going to go right in here because this is where we live, I guess. We're going to park this thing. Don't clip any wings. All right, here we go. We're going to stop right here. We'll get the dolly out to park this. So let's just stop right here. And hop inside and set the parking brake. Stop that clock. 42-minute flight time. Wow, that was a long time. Much longer than I thought it would be. All right, let's see here. Let's, uh-oh, where's my shutdown checklist? Do you like how I use paper? Is that awesome? Stop the clock. Landing lights off. Right there. Anti-collision lights off. No, because we're still running. Flaps up. Yes. Fuel pump off. There we go. Pitot heat off. Parking brake is set. Yes, avionics need to come off before we turn off the engines here. There we go, there we go, there we go. I don't think this turns off. Oh, it does turn off in this one. Awesome. Throttles to idle, they already are. Mixture cut off. There we go. Now we can turn off our lights. Megs to off. There we go. Alternator to off. Cannot see it from here. Alternator and battery to off. fuel tank selector to off. There we go. See, that was a different position than before. Open the doors. Actually, first of all, let's open this thing. Open the doors. Let's try to do it from in here. Yeah, see, it's all like down to go up and only just halfway, and oh, that worked. Okay, good enough. Open the doors, hop outside. Whoa, we're inside the hangar. Hello. Let's get a little bit closer here. Alright, and we will open the passenger door. And it's at the chock, or baggage door, it's at the chocks. There we go. Welcome to Maryland. From Maryland, western edge of Maryland. We got here just before dark, just in time. Let's see what the lights look like as it starts to get dark here. There we go. That looks awesome. Still sunny on top of the hills. Dark below, but looks like we're on top of a hill. So that explains high altitude, just like I said, or high elevation. Oh, there's a city back there. No, that's that barn. I don't know what that is. Anyway, thank you for flying. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are a regular subscriber, thank you for continuing your support. If you are new to the channel and found me by accident, please like, please subscribe. Stick around for the flight. Stick around for the stories. I usually do story time. I just didn't today. And we're in the over 50 state series, smack dab in the middle of it, with some other flights mixed in. So check out that playlist if you don't know what's going on. I'll catch you on the next one.